Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
It is single best idea we could do is we like to keep it 6 minutes. We know you listen to a lot of podcasts. You got 2, 3, 4 podcasts. And our goal here is to slip in a 6-7 minute vignette of 2 thoughts. Today we could have done a 1 hour single best idea. It's amazing the news flow, the market flow, the story flow that we saw today. We've got here Jon Munster, who's iconic in following technology. Years ago at Piper Jaffray, now at Deepwater Asset. Right now he's doing work with Cupertino, so we did not talk Apple. We'll talk Tesla here in a moment. Of course, Tesla out with some difficult production numbers today as well. But before that, Jason Furman. Jason Furman is at Harvard. He does the iconic Ec10 course, which is arguably the most popular course, I believe, at Harvard, other than history of the Red Sox. And Jason Furman links in good economics, good monetary analysis, inflation, and all that, but with a foundational policy view. And even conservatives study Jason Furman, as do liberals, because he folds in a broader economics around policy and around the fiscal state of America. Here is Professor Furman on interest rates higher.
There is no doubt that the United States is on an unsustainable course. I think Bloomberg just did an analysis, and I think it was something like 88% of the scenarios, the debt is unsustainable. That seems very plausible to me. Here's the tricky thing. We don't know how urgent this problem is. We don't know how big this problem is. We don't know how much time we have. Now, all that uncertainty is an argument for taking out some insurance. We'd rather not find out what a crisis is like. But I tend to be on the, if we deal with this a couple of years from now, we'll probably be fine. But maybe we need to do better for the United States economy than probably.
And boy, did you see that in the market action today. We do look at equities, bonds, currencies, commodities, and commodities, oil, $88, $89 a barrel, some serious geopolitical angst there as well. But gold beginning to discuss a higher price. Record highs today in gold. Thank you to Axel Merck of Van Eck Gold Fund for really giving us a nice overview of the central bank buying in gold and some of the mysteries that are out there. He made clear he doesn't feel retail's in gold. It's a very much institutional and global price lift. But Jason Furman there of Harvard on, I know all the angst you feel about our debt and our deficit. Some of the angst is in automobiles. Pre-pandemic, it was 16 million units. The numbers come out, the Ward's numbers come out today, maybe 17 million units. And I don't think we're quite there. And of course, the whole soap opera of batteries and what we're going to do with EV and hybrids and traditional cars as well. All of that centered around Tesla, as it always is. The stock's had a really tough time. And just in the last number of days, south to a 175 level, plunging down 7% on headlines today that showed that they underperformed. There was any number of angles within the Tesla press release, including Red Sea conflict, a fire in Berlin, and other ideas. Paul Sweeney, I thought, was great on this, talking not so much about the supply dynamics of Tesla, but the demand dynamics of Tesla. Shout out to Ed Ludlow of Bloomberg Technology, who gave us some real wisdom here on actually owning a Tesla. It's something he's recently acquired. We acquired the wonderful conversation of Jon Munster of Deepwater Asset Management. Thank you, Mr. Munster. Here is Jon Munster with perspective.
From Detroit, this is today is a victory, and I don't like using war analogies in business, but right. This is a battle. It's a war going on between gas and electric here, and this is definitely a victory for gas. And I think that they have a view about where the world is going, and they're playing towards that, and would say that this is a speed bump. And I think that if you just look at the numbers and look at the relative stock reaction, the stock should be down more. And I think the reason why it's not is because I think there are investors who are in that camp. That's personally where I'm in. The camp that I'm in is that I think that this is ultimately going to be it's a painful bump, but I think a bump in the road.
We'll continue to follow the bump here. Bloomberg Intelligence with the great auto work. And of course, I finished out that coverage with Ed Ludlow. I said, is Tesla a tech company or an auto company? And the hate mail came in immediately. Single Best Idea is a new project. It's just to get 2 snippets out there in your busy day. 6-7 minutes is what we're clocking in here. We're trying to make it shorter, tighter. Here today with Jason Furman and Gene Munster. We're out on Apple CarPlay. Download the Bloomberg Business app. It's free, and you could really link in there to Apple CarPlay. I don't know, Eric, does Tesla do Apple CarPlay? I don't think they do they? I think they're one of the ones that are like, no, we're not going to do that. They'll wake up. They'll come over to Cupertino. And also, of course, Android has CarPlay as well. On YouTube, search Bloomberg Podcasts. We have a lively live chat, some real insight out in the live chat. The high point today is we covered the black flies of northern New England. That was, an important high point there with our live chat. We're on Apple CarPlay, on YouTube, Bloomberg Podcasts. Single Best Idea, and it is Bloomberg Surveillance.